Hello, I'm Sophie D'Souza and welcome to my channel, Sophie Stained Glass. If you're joining me for the first time today, you're very welcome. I've got a very exciting video for you today. And hopefully going to be very useful. It's about all the different types of glass you can buy, what they're called, how they're made, how we use them. And I thought, where better to make the video than at Reading Stained Glass with the phenomenally intelligent and clever and knowledgeable John London. So he's going to tell us all about the glass and in much more detail than I could ever manage. So over to you.
Okay, so there's lots of different glass types. This is called water glass because it's a texture like ripply water.
Perfect.
Okay, it comes in clear and in colours, about 30 different colours. Some of the colours are streaky, some of them are plain colours. Okay, so there we go. Okay.
And is that water glass made by lots of different manufacturers?
No, the water glass is made by one manufacturer, which are now called Oceanside. Used to be called Spectrum before.
Right.
And it's made in a vertical manner, so the glass is drawn up vertically through rollers that put the pattern onto the glass.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So it's quite interesting. It's the only glass that's made really like it, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's great for water, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's quite a contemporary looking glass.
Yeah,
for
it's a nice
contemporary
glass.
designs, and because the pattern's directional, you can cut the pattern in the direction that you want it to go on your design.
Right.
So if you're doing like Art Deco sun rays, you can have the pattern run up and down the sun rays and things like that.
Nice, nice.
It's quite good. So the next sort of glass we've got is what we'd call a cathedral glass. So we have antique cathedrals and then we have broad term cathedrals. The antique cathedrals have runs and bubbles and more character in them. And these are a couple of different examples there, as you can see these runs in the glass there.
Are they both antique cathedral then?
Those are both antique cathedrals. Okay, which are a uniform pattern. It's a copy of the sort of glass you had in Victorian windows. On top of those you've got standard cathedrals, which would be like the Corella Classic Cathedral, which is made in America by Wispy glass. It's a slightly hammered sort of texture, very reminiscent of the glass you got in 1930s windows. Comes in about 30 different colours, so it's a real good colour scheme. It's medium price. It's more expensive than the antique cathedral, but it's much easier to cut. Basically, the cheaper the glass, the harder it is to cut normally. The antique cathedral glass can be very brittle sometimes. After you score it with the glass cutter, it breaks on its own sometimes. Before you've even snapped it. So.
Yeah, I thought it was me. I'm glad
it's not. It's down to the annealing of the glass, and I don't think they anneal it for long enough.
Oh, okay.
No, it's really mass-produced glass.
Right. Okay,
the next texture again classifies like a cathedral glass, but this is actually called English muffle glass, and it's a copy of an original Victorian texture that's put on the glass. It tends to come in all the colours that used to come in Victorian times. So again, there's probably about 30 different colours that's available. Cuts really nicely, like the water glass cuts really nicely.
It's a useful glass, that one.
Yeah, they cut really well. So yeah, it's one of my favourites really.
And where's that made?
This is made by Wispy glass in America as well. So Wispy glass make loads of glasses that are beautiful glasses that are not too expensive. So all sorts of different textures and streakies and stuff. Okay. Have gone to these clear?
Yeah, we did the clear one.
Okay, so the next sort of glasses we want to go on to are clear glasses that are textured, just to show a few of the different textures that you can get. There's probably about 30 or 40 different textures of clear glass that we keep in the shop, because we've got 600 glasses altogether. This one is called Granite, and again you get that in a lot of Victorian windows, so it's a copy of a Victorian. The next one we've got here is hammered, which is a sort of kind of copy of what you used to have in the 1930s in windows. These glasses are both made by Oceanside, that used to be Spectrum in America. Okay, the next one we've got here is a seedy glass, so it's got little stretched bubbles in it, which are called seeds, which look attractive and reflective of the light.
That's quite good for sort of reproduction old windows, isn't it?
Yeah, it's easy to cut. Obviously, the more complex the shapes you're cutting, the more important it is to have glass that's easy to cut, really. So the next glass we've got here is called glue chip, which has got a fern-like pattern over the surface. It's one of the cheapest glasses. It's very easy to cut, very contemporary looking. And that glass is made in a process where they just make flat float glass, and then they apply glue onto the surface of the glass, and then they put it in a kiln and heat it up, and the glue reacts, leaving that pattern. There's a couple more textures here. So that one's called ice crystal, which is like a kind of sparkle sort of effect. Quite a dense pattern, very sparkly. Again, it's reminiscent of glass that you have to add in the 50s and 60s in English stained glass windows. And then the next one we have here is a ripple glass, which is quite a thick ripple, random, and it's quite thick on the edge, so it's not the easiest glass to cut or to fit inside your lead. Okay, this next glass is called Small Flemish, which is an American variant on the English Small Flemish that you used to have in the 20s and 30s in leaded windows. It's called Flemish because it's got a pattern here of like a little tulip. If you can see it just in there. You can flatten this in the kiln to make it less figured, so that it's a flatter glass as well, and sometimes that's a better match.
All right.
Yeah.
So do you know the temperatures, things like that? Or is there a way of finding out?
Yeah, you will just find out by what people are saying online.
Who did you say made that one?
This one's Wispy glass as well.
Right.
But several of my customers, they flatten it in kilns to make it so that it's not quite so textured.
Yeah.
Because sometimes then it's a better match for what you're repairing.
Yeah.
That one's already done as well. That one's already been done. Okay, Sophie, so these next ones here, these are what we would call wispy glasses. So they're not solid colour all over. They're generally colour all over with another colour wisping through, or they will be clear with a colour wisping through. They're made by Oceanside again. And Oceanside make all their glass fusible now. This is a coloured version of the same kind of glass. As you can see, you've got the colour and then you've got the wisps through. So it's good if you want your glass not to look too heavily patterned. Okay, these next glasses are called baroque. They're very swirly, very contemporary. Again, made by Oceanside in America. And again, they're fusible. But a lot of people do use them for contemporary stained glass work. This one's another colour there, that gives you an idea. They only come in a limited range of colours, and clear and clear iridescent at the moment. And these next glasses are what we would call translucent opalescents. So you can see my hand through there just about. So it's not a solid opal, so it still lets the light through. And these tend to come in wispy sort of colours or streaky colours, like this one is.
Quite pretty, aren't they?
Very pretty. And limited uses, more used in making Tiffany lamps,
Yeah.
mirror surrounds,
Yeah.
little boxes and
Yeah. Ornaments.
ornamental
Yeah.
type things, yeah. Ornamental, yeah. Sun catchers.
Yeah.
Okay. That was just the same really.
Yeah.
This one's the same really, it's just in a different colour.
Yeah. So pretty, the colours.
Yeah.
And they're different on each side. Magic.
Yeah, yeah, totally, yeah. Okay, so this is an example of the Bullseye glass. Bullseye is manufactured from Portland in Oregon, and all their glass is fusible with itself. And we keep that in about 200 different colours in 2mm thickness and 3mm thickness. The 2mm gives a slightly lighter colour because it's not so thick, so you've got a big palette of colours to choose from. Okay. There we go. Right, the next lot of glasses here, these are called iridescent glasses, so they've got that almost like petrol-y sheen to them. You can pick that up on your camera, can you?
And that's just on one side, isn't it?
It's just on one side. This one is on Florentine, some people put it Veronese. It's got a little daisy pattern on it. And we have iridescent glass in clear and colours and opals. So that's a clear version. Okay. This is an opal version of an iridescent. So that's a blue streaky and it's iridescent, so you can see it's catching the light. And that one again, it's translucent, so you can see the hand through it now. Okay. There's a couple of other versions of the same sort of glass. This is
that one in your right hand. That's
black.
Completely opal, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a black one, so it's completely solid on the back, and then on the front you've got the iridescent, which really does catch the light beautifully. It's really good for if you wanted to make magpies and things like that, anything with iridescence.
Yeah.
And then this one is a blue and green with iridescence on.
Gosh, it's so pretty,
It's
isn't it?
really popular, we sell a lot of this, yeah.
Because, I mean, depending on where you cut in that sheet, you've got
Yeah.
it all going on there.
Yeah,
haven't
it's
you?
beautiful glass.
That's nice. I mean, it looks so
on the back,
different,
it's just blue and
doesn't
green
it?
on the back, yeah.
Wow.
I know.
So that, again, it's just a solid colour.
Yeah.
It's not at all.
And you cut it on the iridescent side.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so these are hand blown glasses. So they have like this rounded edge at the top, and one of the beautiful characteristics of that is all the little bubbles.
And who makes that one?
That is made by Lambert's Glass in Germany. But we also have a Tatra Polish equivalent, which is
And
cheaper.
are they mainly solid? Just one colour, or do they come different?
They're mainly solid, one colour, but there are a few streaky ones in the range.
And they come flashed as well, don't they?
Yeah, and then this is a flashed version of the same glass, which is red on clear. So if we look at it this way, I don't know if you can pick that with the camera, but it's clear glass throughout apart from one thin layer of red, and that thin layer of red can be etched or engraved out, leaving a clear pattern.
Thank you.
There we go. And that's just another piece of Florentine. So this is Florentine pattern again, which has got the little daisies, which also comes in lots of colours, 26 colours, and it's a copy of what was used in Victorian times in the windows.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you very much, John. I mean, when we were preparing to make this video, we had to really sort of narrow it down and hone in on the most sort of traditional and popular glasses because,
Yeah, the 600
I mean,
in the
there's
shop.
so many glasses in this shop.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are just so beautiful. But that is really a summary of the main ones, would you say?
I would say the main ones.
Yeah. So I hope that's been useful and informative. And check out the other videos. You might find other things that are of interest. And please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you very much, Sophie.